What is up, everyone? Welcome to the NXTPRO show. As always, the show that provides complete coverage of the Puma NXTPRO circuit. As always, we're your host. I'm Corban. On my left or right, there we go. His name is Shanku. And welcome to our first live show. We are live and popping right now. Shanku, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Corban. How are you?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. We live, Listen, y'all, this is our second show here. Our first one, I highly recommend folks to check out. We really had tremendous interviews with Matt, our NXTPRO president. We also had Ethan, Kyle, and Chase, our team directors. And that show honestly will get you all your answers to the questions you might have about the Puma circuit, how it works, so much more. So again, check down our NXTPRO YouTube channel. I'm sure we'll have the description in this one as well, but great stuff there to get you caught up for the rest of the journey we're about to have over here. So yeah, I'm pumped, Shanku. We got a nice slate of guests on, some real good coverage we're gonna have on today. So I'm gonna throw it to you. What are you most excited about before we get started? And let's bring on our first guest.
Yeah, Corban, we're only 3 days away from our first events. Yep. We've got events in Norman, which I'll be at this weekend. We've got one in Atlanta, Georgia, and then also one in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. So should be a lot of high-level basketball going on this weekend for all you guys to check out. But yeah, we do have a lot of, I think, 6 special guests today. So we got 2 prospects who we'll bring on shortly, but then we also have 4 program directors for some of the top programs in our circuit. So I think without further ado, we can bring on my guy, Aiden Chronister from Arkansas, who's playing with AAO Flight this year. Aiden, how's it going?
Going good. How are y'all?
Good. How is it?
Doing okay.
You ready for this weekend?
Sir.
Let's go. So, Aiden, I just wanted to talk to you just for the people that aren't familiar with your game. How would you kind of describe your play style? Or is there kind of like a player you kind of molded your game after?
Well, I'm 6'7", so I'd say I'm a lengthy guard for sure, and I model my game after like KD and taller, lengthier guards like Jason Tatum, KD. So
yeah.
Like that comp already. So is it more of, like you said, like a kind of smooth type of game in terms of flowing more toward like shooting? Are you someone that kind of mixes it up a little bit? I've seen a few clips and I see you got the range, but yeah.
Yeah, like shooters a lot, like the perimeter, but I also have an inside-out game as well. So it's pretty hard to guard, I would say.
That's dope. Yeah, we got some of the clips here right now. That's really cool to see for sure. So Aiden, I gotta ask you, how was your experience? I'm familiar that you were familiar with Pro 16 last year. How was your experience kind of then? Just your first kind of run through with it, what you enjoyed. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience for sure. I mean, my team really liked it. 17, 16s, we had nothing but great things to say. It was very aggressive, like a lot of skilled players for sure, and I can't wait to play this year.
Definitely, I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Aiden, talk to us a little bit about your high school season over the last 5 months. How'd it go? What were some of the things you worked on in terms of your game, and what are you looking forward to this year in terms of improving your game?
Season was tough. I mean, there's a lot of good players in our league for sure, and working. I mean, I was getting face guarded a lot, so just working off the ball and trying to get the ball in my hands and just making open plays while being double teamed even sometimes. It just really helped me. So yeah.
Did you see a difference in the level of defense that you kind of described, kind of the face guarding in your last one compared to like, let's say, like high school or in general? Like, how have you kind of seen the defense and the schemes kind of level up for you, as players get more exposure to your game?
A lot more aggressive. I mean, ever since like everything that has happened, I mean, everyone's coming for me on my team. Like everyone's wanted like what I have. So they always try and make it, personal. So I get everyone's best game, which makes me better for sure.
Absolutely. And I was going through a little bit of your high school film, and one thing I noticed was your shooting, not only from stationary catch and shoot, but shooting on the move. I thought that was super impressive. Is that something you've worked on over the offseason, or tell me a little bit about that?
A lot. Yeah, definitely. I was just a stationary catch and shoot, but then ever since getting face guarded and a lot of defenses trying to find me, moving off screens, double screens, running baselines, anything just to get it and shoot it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And that 6'7", that's super valuable, especially going forward to the next level.
Sir.
That is for sure. I I guess I kind of talked a little bit here about Pro 16. How was, your high school season in general? Obviously a little bit different of a place. How you kind of describe the difference between playing in high school and obviously the Pro 16, but just kind of going a little bit into your experience there, because again, with the way you've been playing, I'm sure it was a pretty successful season, but I'd love to learn more.
Yeah, Pro 16, I was playing just my age group. And I've been playing with those guys for a long time. So it was really, I was familiar with them. We knew where each other were at. And this year for school ball, we had more seniors this year. It's kind of the same group as last year. We had 5 seniors leave last year. So it was just everyone trying to find their spots and everything. But it was a great season overall. I definitely can't wait for the next seasons with them and see where we go.
That's awesome. And I know you picked up a couple offers last year playing on our circuit. If you could inform us a little bit about where all you've picked up new offers and what all schools have shown interest in you.
I have some of my notes because there's a lot. I can read them to y'all.
I believe it, yeah.
We'll take it.
So I've been offered by Troy, High Point, Harding, UCA, Missouri, Charleston, Arkansas, Indiana State, OU, and Nebraska. And my interest, it's crazy. My interest, Ole Miss, TCU, UCLA, Rutgers, Stanford, Indiana, Iowa, LSU, Alabama, Baylor, FAU, Kansas, and Texas. So
I see you've been going on a lot of visits, though, unofficials, but
just trying to start relationships with these coaches. Coaches know coaches, and I getting more familiar with my game, trying to see where I fit in people's offenses, and just trying to really start a relationship and see what next home could be for me.
Absolutely. And building that network, the way you describe the process of going about that, that's really, really cool for sure.
For sure.
Speaking of all the offers, which first off, congratulations, right?
Thank you.
That's really dope. Yeah. But how would you describe kind of the process of going, from unranked last year, you had a really big summer at the Pro 16, and now of course ranked in the offers, the process of, obviously going on the grind and really putting it out there, but seeing those results. Can you kind of go a little bit more into that?
Yeah. Obviously I've been working not only to be ranked, but, obviously be able to get my school paid for, but just seeing how everything that I've been doing has been paying off. Obviously gives me, happiness, same with my family, but just trying to stay focused and make sure when I go to college that I can, come in as a freshman, play good minutes and help that team win. So it's really just what I'm trying to do. So
that's really cool. I like that. Definitely.
That's awesome. And if you guys aren't familiar, this year Aiden will be playing up a division, so he'll be playing with the 17U, and he is a class of 2026. So he'll be a major player to watch on our circuit this year.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Aiden, we appreciate you coming on, and I'll see you this weekend. So make sure to show out for me.
Thank you.
I gotta ask you one more question, Aiden. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's the favorite one. We trying to make this next pro show staple here. You don't have to tell all your trade secrets. We get it. We'll be watching you. There's film.
Yeah.
But what would you say? You need to get a bucket. Shot clock running down. You got the ball. What's your go-to move, man? I gotta know.
I would try and get on the wing, maybe. Better angles to attack because basketball is all about angles.
Yes,
but
sir.
Definitely get them going to the middle because most defenses don't want people going middle. And then quick counter, right? Try and get to the basket or find someone to get open. So, yeah.
I love it. You getting a scout report from the man himself.
Yeah.
It's great. You got to keep him guessing. I love it.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for that. I really do appreciate that insight, Aiden, and having you on. That's Shanku said. We really appreciate that.
Of course. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir.
Man, that was fun.
That was fun, man.
I love it.
It'll be super fun to watch him develop this year. And also, just want to give a shout out to the guys in the chat. We see you. Obviously, we're having a conversation, but I see you guys. I see you, Carter. What up, Carter? Ethan, my shoulder is healed. I got you in the ones. All right, bro.
Okay.
But our next guest is the program director for AO Flight, which is the program Aiden Chronister is a part of. So we have Coach DeShaun Sterck with us. Coach DeShaun, what's up?
What's going on, man? How we doing?
How we doing? Good. How about you?
I'm good. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Appreciate you coming on.
No doubt. Talk to me. What's going on with y'all?
I'm about to say, Shanku, you got it.
Yeah. So, Coach DeShaun, I just wanted to let the people know where you kind of come from. What's your background in basketball? How did you really get to where you're at today?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Missouri born, Arkansas raised, as I like to say. Was born in Springfield, Missouri. Grew up here in Northwest Arkansas since I was 10. Been here ever since. Got to go to Drury University after coming out of Springdale High School. Got to go to Drury University for 2 years, freshly after they won the D2 National Championship. So my first collegiate game was actually at Cameron Indoor in the exhibition against them. Heck of an experience, and one I'll keep with me for the rest of my life. But got there 2 years, had 2 really good years. Actually decided to make the move. For whatever reason, nobody let me know that it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do at pre-med and play basketball at the same time in college. So that kind of wore on me a little bit, needless to say. Brought me back home. Actually ended up being a preferred walk-on at the University of Arkansas with Coach Anderson, and spent a year here before then transferring one last time to NAIA William Woods University up in north central Missouri. Ended up being All-American my senior year. Had 2 really, really good years there. Pursued the professional opportunities. Had a couple workouts with the Bulls and the Windy City Bulls, as well as the Milwaukee Bucks and Wisconsin Herd. And then pursued Australia. In that time, COVID kind of came in, shut things down. And so that obviously transitioned me along with the birth of my son. And so right at that time, God purposed me to reinstill what I've learned and put it back into the community and into our program specifically. Shortly after that, I started with AAO. Been here for a little over 4 years now, and we're off and running. Obviously, what you guys see today is not what we've always been, but we've definitely worked to be where we're at and did things the right way to get us here.
I love that, for sure. No, thank you, and congratulations on your son. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, speaking more about a AAO flight, can you kind of share more? I mean, you talked about your background and the experiences that kind of led you to where you are now, and all the stuff you did through college and everything overseas, all of that. Can you share a little bit more about kind of your personal values and the culture, not only that you personally have? I know you shared a little bit in that answer you gave just now, but also that you're trying to kind of instill in this program that you're, continuing to work to build.
Right. Yeah, no doubt, man. In grassroots basketball, a lot of stuff can be bad, so to speak. It's really easy to point out the bad stuff, but everyone can point out a problem, but who's being a solution? And that's what we kind of try to be. We don't just develop basketball players on the floor. We also develop young men. We are a faith-based organization with the right values and try to, instill the right habits that not only help kids be successful on the floor, but also after basketball stops and they get into their real world life and jobs and families. We want them to be successful as well then, not just while they wear AO flight jersey. So we do that through, the way we come in and practice. Like we just had a week straight of training camp. Some of our players stay with coaches. That's 4 boys in my house and 2 sons. I mean, it was a lot, but that's the beauty of it, right? And the chemistry and the relationships that you build. Guys that are new to the team, guys that have been here 2, 3, 4 years, some even longer than that. So we put each other in spaces to really foster, team growth and team chemistry and the right things. And we stand for the right things, obviously off the floor, and then try to focus on the right things on the floor as well.
Absolutely. I love that. That was a really good answer. Really well said. And kind of going forward from last year, obviously you guys had a great season. Your 17U squad making it to the finals of the Pro 16 championship. Obviously, you played a tough squad against one family, but what are your goals and expectations for your squads this season?
I mean, what it always has been is to win. We don't believe in second place. Right. As good as it was to get there, and special opportunity. That group, like everybody said, we were the Cinderella story. Like, yeah, if you asked everybody else, not us, right? So, we planned on getting there. We planned on working to get there. And the thing that I almost would say is kind of scary is we figured out, we got confirmation that it works, right? So now we just dug deeper into our process, and we will continue to trust it. And you guys will see, as the rest of the league will see, this 17U team looks a little longer, a little more athletic, but definitely still just as dynamic as that group from last year. Even though it's hard to replace some of those guys, I mean, we didn't have 12 people on the bench or on the roster, so to speak, but everybody we had was worth more than one. And it'll be really hard to replicate that, but we got a good start on it.
Yeah. I think that was one thing about your roster last year, is maybe a little bit undersized, but this year you got a nice lengthy roster, good size. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the guys, starting with Aiden Chronister. Obviously, in my opinion, he's still just scratching the surface of his upside. But what can you tell me about his game? And obviously, you know him better than I do.
Yeah. Aiden's special, man. Obviously, what you see on the floor, but also from like a development standpoint, we've really, really been at it the last probably 10, 12 months, just trying to continue to build on the foundation, really focused on the mid-range game, focused on playing out the post, the mid-post a little bit more, playing out the catch and having to create more off the bounce. Stuff that he can do, but at the level he's trying to get to, needs to be able to do it better. And the cool thing that I like about him is it doesn't take long for him to pick something up. So if we break it down and we talk footwork and we talk technicalities of things, he'll figure it out quickly. And if he doesn't, I've seen him multiple times, some things that maybe 20 minutes into an hour and 15-minute workout, he kind of struggled with or couldn't quite get as easy as he wanted to. After that workout's over, he's coming back and on his own, trying to kind of figure it out better to make sure he has a good grasp on it. And those kind of things, to me, I've seen with successful basketball players, ones that can pick up things quickly, but then also have a care factor that's high enough to really continue to work on it and dive into it. He shows up and gets after it. I think it'll be great for him to play up this year. The physicality aspect, like he's not supposed to be a full-grown man yet, like you will see in college, but the skill set is so far ahead, in my opinion, for his age and for his size and length. Once he really gets the physicality and adjusts well to it playing up this year, we're going to unlock a kid that I don't think anybody really wants to play against. So
I love it. Oh, so Shanku, you got after Aiden, obviously, I know we got two other guys. I'm learning so much more about this league. I will be totally transparent here. I'm excited to, but one thing that leads to fun questions. So can you also go more into like a Jackson Conley or Chris Burden? I hope I pronounced that correctly, but some other guys on your team to kind of look out for.
Yeah, you're spot on with those two.
Appreciate it.
Jackson's been with us the last 3 years. Been amazing to see his progression. What you'll always see from Jackson is a competitor. I'll put him from a competitive standpoint. I'll put him against anybody. Like, I just don't think when they talk dogs, like you're looking at number 5 in an AO flight jersey like that. That's what a dog looks like in a dictionary. And he's going to compete relentlessly. But then he's skilled and he's a really high feel for the game. Has shot it really well for us and progressed. It's crazy. His 9th grade year, I went and watched him before he was really with us. They were guarding him in the paint on the perimeter. And, fast forward to now, you can't give him a catch and shoot anymore, right? So that's a testament to his work, but then also his, he's been in the right place. He made the right decision a couple of years ago to stick with us. And I've talked to a lot of coaches about him, and many have reached out about him. He's in for a special summer. Defensively, I don't think there's a better guard wing with hands like him. There's a reason he was player of the year defensively in the league up here. So that's Jackson. He'll be big for us. And the piece that no one really got to see because it came in late was the athleticism, like the above the rim finishing. He has the mentality to go right at anybody's chest. But at the very back end of the summer, his athleticism kind of unlocked a little bit, and you will see it this year. You'll definitely see it. And to double down on that, Big Bird, as we call him, and it's crazy. Chris is insanely athletic. 6'8", long, lanky, real similar to kind of Aiden's build, just a little longer. But athleticism is head at the rim, ridiculous. Can go get any lob, can get off the ground 2 feet, 1 foot, doesn't matter. And the craziest part about it, on September 7th, he just turned 16. So he's 16 and a half. And with, I couldn't tell you where the ceiling's at. It's so high. So we'll be real excited to see him. in his development, can stretch the floor, can put on the ground. Obviously will be a killer in transition. Defensively adds length and athleticism as well, and versatility, being able to play 3, 4, 5 for us in certain situations. So we've got some big pieces, and then we've got some really, really important pieces that I know we won't really get the time to go into, but some connectors, James Elgis, Keon Epps, Christian Gilliland, like guys that at the guard spot just put so much pressure on the paint, willing passers, high IQ. They'll be special for us. And we got a decent roster, so we'll see what we can do with it.
Absolutely. That sounds like a pretty stacked squad. I know you guys are going to be a squad to beat this year. But you talked on a little bit about IQ, and one of your guys on your 16U squad is Hudson Franz. And I got to watch him quite a bit this past year with Edmond Memorial. He was playing 6A and looked like one of the best sophomores in the state. What can you tell us a little bit about his game?
Yeah, I really like Hudson. You know, it's crazy. He came in, and the first real look at him I got in person was him and Lane Taylor in a workout. And so, you know, if you can stick with Lane in a workout, then you'll probably be okay. And so we went high intensity for about 45 straight minutes, no breaks. I was in a full sweat. They were in full sweat. And I saw him. I mean, he can make every shot. Like, there's really nothing in there that he doesn't have. Phil is really good. Got to see him through training camp this past week. And the part that I love the most is he's got a little bit of a mouth on him, and he's competitive. Like, and that, if you don't have that in this space, you usually don't last too long. So knowing that he has that as well as the skill set he has, you can expect him to be real, real special at the 16 level from a guard standpoint.
Another 16U kid is Landon Price. Can you tell? I'm sure he's pretty unfamiliar with most people, so could you inform us about him?
Yeah, he's when you see him, you will not think basketball player the way he is built physically. I mean, you will think like SEC tight end. Like, the kid is 6'4", huge shoulders, extremely strong, extremely athletic, off 2 feet, can get up off 1, has a really, really high work ethic, came from a place where he wasn't really shooting it super, super well last year. We kind of looked into him getting the 15U. He also plays baseball, so that kind of took precedent last year. And this year he's, you know, shifted more over to basketball with us and has really bought in. And his ceiling, I mean, who knows? Because as athletic, as physical as he is, I mean, he can bully you. He can post you, can also have finesse. He has quickness laterally, and then the athleticism to play above the rim, go get lobs, block shots on the glass, and then can really shoot it. And so he's got the mindset and work ethic that he's going to develop. Older brother is in college right now playing baseball, could have played basketball. So genetics there, work ethic is there, in the right place and right program from high school wise that'll continue to foster him. Should be their best player, you know, sophomore, junior, senior year. And so we look forward to seeing his growth.
For sure. That's quite a few people already you mentioned that have a lot of potential that seem like really good ball players for sure. I have 2 more names, Coach, for you that I'd just like to get a little more information on. Katie Hicks and Kellen Cash. Can you kind of fill us in on those guys?
Yeah, so Katie comes from us to Little Rock Christian Academy. They just won back-to-back state championships. He won his first as a freshman. Obviously a high-end program, 3 or 4 Division I players in that group. And so you're exposed to that consistently. So automatically that's going to make you quite a bit better. But he's 6'1", 6'2", lefty, can get wherever he wants on the floor with the basketball. I mean, can play above the rim, high IQ, can finish multiple ways. Like, you really can't keep him out of the paint. And if he gets to the paint, he can finish however he wants. I think he'll be huge for us. Also has high IQ to be able to see the floor. And that 15U team being able to space the floor the way that they do, he'll be big time for them. He can score it in bunches, but we don't even want to really talk about that because that's not what we focus on. Like, he's got so much more than just scoring. And I think that's where some people have only seen him as. But you'll definitely get a chance to see him do more than just score at the point guard role for our 15s. And then Kellen Cash, man, they're like, just to give you a quick, he will come in the gym and see my 17s and ask guys if they want to play one-on-one. Like, not afraid of anybody, feels like he's going to beat them every time he plays them. Heck, there's a few that I feel like, hey, I want to see it. So he's a scorer, 6'3", long, lanky, kind of built like Aiden a little bit. Obviously not the same height size, but he'll definitely look the part at the 15U level for sure. But his feel for a scoring, I mean, you place him on a spot on the floor and give him the ball, I guarantee you can score in a variety of ways from that spot. So inside and out, outside and in, doesn't matter. So expect him to really dominate the 15U level. When you see him get going, the ball will continue to be fed to him because he's got it.
I love it for sure. And Coach, final question. We appreciate your time, first of all. So thank you. Sharing the games of all these other great kids that will be watching and looking forward to seeing here over this circuit. But this is my favorite question. We've already established this. We've been talking about other people's games. I want to kind of get a little bit of your own game. If you could describe it a little bit. We asked Aiden kind of his go-to move. I know he likes you on the island on the wing, so that's kind of good to know. You played all over. So I would like to know, and obviously still play and train. Can you share a little bit about what's your move?
Yeah, no, I'm a big mid-post guy. Like I really like the mid-post at the elbow or in the short corner. I've learned over at first I really wasn't the best ball handler, but I was tall early. And then so across my career, and as I grew, I learned more to be, by the senior year, I was able to play point guard in like 6'3", 6'4". And then by the end of my college career, I was still able to play point guard. And even professionally, that's what I was running. So I'm able to have IQ and play out of, simple stuff. And I'm old now, man. So mid-post, I can play 1 or 2 dribbles from the basket. I can't do a whole lot. I can't let guys be too physical with me on the perimeter. And you ask Aiden about that. Ask him if he can guard me in the mid-post. But outside of that, that's all I got anymore. I'm just spending time helping the young ones be better than me. So
we love that. Love that. Coach DeShaun, thank you so much for coming. You can catch Coach DeShaun in Norman this weekend. He'll be at the Young Athletic Center. So first tournament.
Yeah, we're locked and loaded. Definitely appreciate it, man. We locked and loaded.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Thank you again for your time, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you.
All right. Man, I was a fun.
Yeah. Talking about the Norman event coming up this weekend, our other Pro 16 team is Southern Ties. And if you've watched the documentary, this guy needs no introduction, is Coach John Roby, program director. Coach Roby, how we doing?
I'm doing good, man. I enjoyed listening to that dude. AAU is a big-time program. I love being in competition with those dudes.
Absolutely. I'm sure you guys will meet sometime this season. Before C1 this weekend.
We had a battle last year. I won't talk about who won, but we had a good battle.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Right. I try to get a matchup early, but I guess we need to wait until a Pro 16 event.
Yeah. I don't know why it's that way, but it'll come. Build the suspense now.
For sure.
So, Coach Roby, I just wanted to get into a little bit about you, how you came up, what was your background with basketball, and how did you get to where you're at today?
So I played at Oklahoma City University under a coach named Ray Harper, and he really, showed me how important coaching was. I also played for a coach named Win Case, who's probably one of the best recruiters in the nation. He's at Ole Miss right now. But Coach Harper really, taught me how important X's and O's are. So I played there. We won 2 national championships back to back and actually lost the year before those 2 in the national championship game. And that's kind of where I fell in love with coaching. He let me go and scout teams. He let me do game plans, for him when I was redshirting. So after that, I loved it, but I kept playing just in old men's leagues. And then I tore my ACL when I was about 29. And I was like, I need to do something besides playing. So let's get into coaching. And that's, I started coaching 12-year-olds. And we thought we were really good. We were beating everyone in Oklahoma. And we were like, let's go to the John Lucas event nationally. And we played Night Riders out of Florida. And we couldn't get the ball past half court. They beat us like 80-15.
Wow.
And my buddy Cam and I were like, we're going to have to treat this like a college program if we really are going to be able to help these kids from Oklahoma. So we invested our time. We had practice all the time. We developed these dudes. We treated it like college. They kept getting better and better. They got nationally ranked. Team Griffin picked us up out of Oklahoma, Blake Griffin's team. So we were playing EYBL. And I just, ever since then, I've just been loving coaching. So we did EYBL for 6 years. And then Coach Barikoff and I decided, let's venture out on our own and get our own program, and here we are.
I love that for sure. Speaking of that, Coach, first of all, thank you for being on. Can you share a little bit more about your the Southern Tides program, and maybe even a little bit about your coaching philosophy and kind of how that kind of goes into that?
Yeah, so Southern Tides, we were with Tulsa Hawks last year. They were gracious enough to let Barikoff come on and I come on and coach 17s. And then Matt presented us with a unique opportunity to get our own program this year. And so we did that. And so, with Southern Ties, we just want to be all about the kids. We want to get them maximum exposure. We want to get them the best development. We want to give them as many scholarship opportunities as they can. And that's really the main goal. We wanted no politics, no BS. All we wanted to do is be there for the kids and get them as many opportunities as we can. And so that's what Southern Ties is all about. Maximum competition, maximum development, maximum scholarship and exposure.
Wow.
Absolutely. And also, I think it's pretty funny. You touched on how you used to play at OCU, but now you're an assistant coach there. Could you share a little bit about that journey, as well as how some of those college philosophies and X's and O's stuff maybe even translate to the high school level and the AU level?
For sure. I mean, it's all Coach Barikoff. He's a legend. He's won 3 national championships. He's won a state championship in California. He's been doing it 30 years. He was coming to Griffin practices because he was looking for kids for Oklahoma City University. We obviously hit it off because I played at OCU. I brought him into Griffin. He brought me into OCU. It was like a match made in heaven, right? And so I'm just learning. I'm trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him. He's been doing it so long. He's been at the D1 level. He's been at the pro level. He's been everywhere. So it's mostly Barikoff, and everything I run is either Barikoff or my old coach, Coach Harper, who I played for at OCU, who's now at Jacksonville State. Everything's designed for the best of the best. I mean, Coach Harper's won, I don't even know. I think he's won 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he's won 4 national championships.
Wow.
So he won 2 at NAIA, 2 at D2, and now he's at Jacksonville State, and he was the first ever coach to take them to a 20-win season. I think they had back-to-back 20-win seasons and made the tournament back-to-back. So I mean, I've been blessed to be around great coaches. And so all I try to do is mimic them. A lot of coaching is obviously parroting what the best coaches do, right? So all I do is try to do what those guys tell me is what's right. And they're winners, and winners win. And all I'm trying to do is help our kids get to the level of winning and realizing how if they win as a team, they all win as an individual, because winning cures everything.
Yes, sir. That sounds like a good recipe for sure. Like to ask you just real quick about a few of your players, just to kind of let some of us know, myself included. But like between Devon Scott, Roman Miller, Anthony Granger, can you share a little bit about their games? Excuse me.
Yeah, so Devon Scott, obviously back-to-back state champion, right? We want winners. He's already got the pedigree, right? He comes in with an amazing attitude. He wants to work. He wants to defend. Those are the type of guys that we want in our program. He's got a great personality. I mean, you want to be around him every day, and he's a sniper. I mean, the dude does not miss. Even we had the training camp, we scrimmaged, and it's just every shot you think it's going in. Roman Miller scores with ease. I mean, he is a natural-born scorer. All 3 levels, at the bucket, mid-range. It's effortless to him. And those are the type of guys we want. We want scorers, but we want guys that are great kids, that are winners, and that want to be a part of something special. And so we're bringing in guys with great personalities and great basketball players. Who was the other one you said? Anthony Granger, maybe?
Oh, yeah, you got it. Yep.
Out of Wichita, this kid is a diamond in the rough, man.
Really?
Vincent, that had Midwest buckets last year, he was playing up a year, and he was like, you got to take this kid, man. He's like 6'7", bouncy, athletic, can shoot it, can handle. And when I saw him at training camp live this weekend, I was like, man, this guy's got so much potential. So, he's looking at a couple of maybe prep schools. I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, but he's got the goods. He has a very, very high ceiling because he can do everything, and it's 6'7", and he's long. Ooh. So we are very, very, very intrigued. He plays way above the rim. So we're very intrigued by him. We're intrigued by all our guys. That's why we want to bring the best of the best here. We didn't even need, for a first-year program, and we didn't even need a tryout. That says something. We handpicked every dude on 17s. We handpicked the 16s are loaded with Drew. I mean, the guy's a stud. Drew Whitmire, he's one of the GOATs of Oklahoma. We're blessed to have him. I begged him, like, please come. Whatever you need, come to us. We got his 16s that they beat everybody. They beat Griffin EYBL. They beat Trae Young Adidas. They wanted the smoke last year and smacked everyone. Mocan went to OT. I mean, what else do you want? So they're bringing the best team in Oklahoma. They were the best team in Oklahoma. We got them on our circuit, 16s. And then 15s, we got Chev and John White. Chev at Lawton surprised everybody this year. We want the best of the best, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the best of the best to compete across the nation.
I love that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you touched on Anthony's a freak athlete. There's another freak athlete at 16, Jaden Hopkins, who I got to saw a lot this year. Man, that kid can go. Tell me about him.
You know, I've obviously been watching him. I know his older brother, Quincy. I mean, these great kids, first of all. Like, you want to be around them. Quincy's polite. Yes, sir. No, sir. Hopkins, polite. Yes, sir. No, sir. But when I saw Hopkins at Trenton, his first step is different.
Insane.
He is shifty. He is explosive. He's rebounding everything. He's getting to the rack at ease. I mean, that kid has a level that you don't see very often in Oklahoma. He is a D1 guard. I mean, just shifty, shifty, shifty. Love his game. And I love the family. Like, you couldn't ask for a better fit. The dad's at everything, watching them. I mean, they're classy. That's the type of kids we want in the program. And I love Hopkins, man. He's going to be – everybody already knows in Oklahoma. I mean, he's the top, 2026, probably one of the top two at 2026 is in Oklahoma. So everybody, I don't even need to give him an introduction. Everybody knows.
Absolutely. I think another kid in the 26 class who's super underrated out of Grind Prep is Jance Alsop. Talk to me about him. He's got a really good skill set at his size and frame. Man.
He's a dude. 6'7", can give it to you any way you want it. He's hitting. Somebody told me, like, from camp, LaMarcus Aldridge style. Like, he's got a smooth jumper, rebounding. He can score at all three levels. He's a grown man already, and he's 16 years old. I mean, he's still 16 years old, grown man. Because I know you might get a different, he's at a prep, so people might think he's old. No, he's 16, strong. Definitely one of the highest potentials in the program, for sure. We are excited about him, 100%. I got to give a shout-out to Neo, too. Neo, AJ. I don't know if you guys saw AJ, but, man, his athleticism is through we got a video that we're going to post tomorrow of the training camp.
Okay.
He's doing 360s, like pump-faking 360 slams. And then Seabass is a grown man. But Neo, the two guards, Neo and Beastie, you don't want to bring the ball up against these dudes. They're all the way up underneath you. They're guarding 94 feet like you want. Like, just wait. We're gonna show some people this weekend. I can't wait. Wait until this weekend. 16s.
Okay.
I'm front and center 16s.
Well, I mean, you hyping it up, Coach. We appreciate that.
I'll give y'all 20 points each 16 game. Y'all tell me what you want.
You giving us Colts right now too. We appreciate that. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you for giving us a really enlightening interview. Thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing y'all in action and hopefully having y'all on the show here in the future.
Yeah, don't sleep on my 15s though. Come see my 15s too.
Yeah, I got a question actually.
White got it going.
Talk about Nate Lyon and Boogie Bradshaw. I think those are two super underrated sevens.
Yep, Boog, Millwood, grown man already, 15. Gets to the rack at will. And then Nate, he can do it all. He's a scoring machine, and tomorrow you're gonna see him playing above the rim too. Like, these dudes are studs. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm just excited, man. If we can't get excited and hype these kids, what are we doing it for? I just want to put them on a platform and let them rock out and get them some scholarships.
100%. I love the energy. I couldn't agree more, honestly. I got to see
the hype guy for sure. Yes. Well, thank you again, Coach. We really do appreciate you and your time and look forward to getting more opportunities to talk to you, hopefully, in the future.
I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for giving my kids a platform.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, that was a fun one. Got some more. We got a full slate. We got to keep it going. Shanku, we got to go.
Man, we love the energy Coach Roby brings.
Absolutely.
But we're going to go back to one of the top prospects, point guard out of Florida, This guy is running with Team Scoot, and he's a returner for our circuit. It's Evan Sterk. Evan, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. How we doing? How we doing?
Good. How about you, man?
I'm good. I just got home actually, but I'm good.
Oh yeah. How was that banquet?
It was good. It was good. I mean, it was supposed to be like an hour, but it was like 2.5. It was long, but no, it was good. It was good.
That's good.
That's fine.
So Evan, sorry, go ahead, Corban.
No, I was gonna let you go. I was just saying hello to Evan. Appreciate you coming on, taking some time out from a full night. It sounds like so. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
So Evan, you kind of joined Judah Nation, if I'm not mistaken, kind of mid-season last year.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So kind of talk about your experience with Pro 16, joining mid-season. How was that transition for you?
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. Matt really did his thing. It beat all my expectations, to be honest. Like, it was organized really well. The competition was great. I mean, the college coaches, they were all there. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. So he did a great job. Pro 16 was phenomenal. So I loved it. That's why I had to run it back this year.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Speaking of kind of your experience in playing basketball, Evan, how was your high school season these past few months? Kind of what have you learned, kind of growing, adding, kind of getting ready, obviously, for this circuit moving forward. But can you share a little bit about your experience there?
Yeah, I mean, we won state, so I mean, it was a great season, great ending to our season. But now we've been working just towards this AAU season for the past few months now. We won state, I think, last month, and as soon as it ended, we didn't take no time off. We were straight in the workouts, straight in the weight room, just getting ready for AAU. So now it's been great.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
And so you're obviously a point guard, floor general. I got to tell you a little bit last year. I love the way you change pace, super poised on the floor. But what's part of your game you really want to work on? Not only this year, but going forward long term.
Yeah, definitely my shot, just getting more consistent with my shot, and then in the weight room, just getting more explosive, like lower body and upper body. I need to improve everything. So just really focusing on weight room, and then my shot, just consistency of my shot.
Sure.
I like that for sure. Evan, can you kind of share any interest, any offers you've currently gotten kind of as you've been going? Has there any been, I'm sure there's buzz around. Can you share a little bit of that with us?
Yeah, no, I mean, last year's Pro 16 circuit helped me out crazy, but now I have offers. I have Jacksonville University, Samford University, and UMKC. But interest, I have Vanderbilt's on me, Indiana State, Mercer, Stetson. We got Georgia State. They're both all running in, so now it's just an exciting process.
For sure.
I'm sure that list is gonna increase this summer, without a doubt. So, talk to me a little bit about this. Is obviously Team Scoot's first year.
Yeah.
Team sponsored by Scoot Henderson. Obviously, he's with the Portland Trailblazers. But talk to me a little bit about. You want to shout out any of your guys, and kind of what are some of your goals for as a team going forward this year on the Pro 16?
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen a couple guys on the team, but Arnett, great guard, DNAP, phenomenal guard, and I'm just excited. My head coach really rocks with me. He trusts me, give me the keys to just go out there, and he knows what I'm going to do, get wins, and just really provide for the team. So, I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait. We play this weekend, so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing you in the team in action for sure.
Yes,
Final question here. My favorite. We've already made it a thing. Real quick. I mean, you've been in the back. Can describe your game? If you could describe your game, your go-to move, I'm trying to pick up notes. Not that I'm gonna be doing any playing, but just trying to pick up notes, trying to understand better. So if you could describe that for me, I'd appreciate it.
No, for sure. I mean, for like players that I look at is like, I mean, to be honest, any guard under like 6'2" in the league, like Peyton Pritchard, Kyrie, just those type of guards, I study a lot. I try to pick up little pieces here and there from their game, and then I would say what I play like is just facilitator, pass first guard that can get a bucket if he needs to. But just really looking to get the teammates involved and get the win. Do anything, all the little things to get the win, but mainly facilitating. And then, like I said, if I need to score, I will. But that's not on my mind.
I get you.
You take what the defense gives you.
Yeah. I take what the defense gives me. I like that.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
All right, Evan. Thank you so much for coming on. Obviously, Evan will be at Atlanta this weekend. He'll be competing with Team Scoot, so catch him there. You won't want to miss him.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on.
All right, another good one.
Another good one, man. We got a few more guests. We're going to bring on the Pro 17U champion from last year, program director, Coach Daryl Harden. Coach, how we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you for coming on.
They're doing good. Thank you for the time.
No problem.
Absolutely. So obviously, Coach, you guys had a super successful season last year. Can you talk about your experience with the Pro 16, kind of how that went and your expectations for this year?
Yeah, I think last year was new. So I think with each weekend that passed, Matt fulfilled every promise and everything that he said to us. And so each week I felt like it grew better and better. And the competition grew as well. Once everybody settled in and realized that this was above what we thought it would be in year one.
I love that for sure. Can you share, Coach, a little bit more about your coaching philosophy and more about One Family? I mean, obviously we've had the documentary. I've learned a lot on the fly here, been doing some research as well, but can't get no better than from the mouth of the director himself.
So One Family is about 9 years old. Me and my partner Lee Loper, we started it when we were students at Florida State. So it's grown into just a highly competitive program here in the state of Florida with kids, throughout the state representing us and playing for us. I think our philosophy is we're just gonna get after it, and we're gonna get after it every game, and you're gonna feel that after every game. After playing us, win, lose, or draw, you're gonna feel like, man, I was just in a battle, and we just want to provide a platform to help these guys get to the next level. Up until this point, we've had 1,000% graduating rate with getting guys to a scholarship level in college. So we're just looking to continue that.
That's really awesome. Cool. And you talked about how you started 9 years ago with One Family. What was kind of the process leading up to that? What was your journey like? Did you play basketball before you started doing this?
Yeah, so I played, and college career didn't go as long as I wanted. Just situations that happened to me being a young kid trying to navigate something pretty much on my own, just with my upbringing. And so ran into my partner Lee, and he was coaching a 6th grade team at the time while we were in school. And I just came to help him and kind of told him, hey, man, well, I just did this. And I remember how you go where, we can do this a lot better than what we're doing now. So we started with a group of 8th graders. And those 8th graders, Tyree Crump, who went to Georgia, Maurice Howard, who went to Alcorn State, Nick Strouder, guys like that, they just believed in what we were doing earlier. We had one team, and we would go play whoever. So we played Dunk Dogs, and I don't know if people remember them, but they had Thon Maker, who was already 7 foot in 8th grade, and Adrian Moore, who was a 6'4" point guard in 8th grade. So we were going up and trying to play the best in the country. And what we learned is when we came back from those games, our guys were just locked in and hungry for more. So we put a team behind that year after that and just added. And then, this year is going to be the first year we have about 7 or 8 teams expanded from the 4 that we normally have.
It's really cool. Wow. For sure. Speaking of, you kind of talk about some expansion on your team. Can you share, feels like a generic question, but obviously there's more to it in terms of goals for this upcoming Pro 16 circuit. I would imagine winning is somewhere in the list of priorities or goals there, but can you share a little bit more about, what you're kind of looking to look back on and say, okay, we did this, like expectations?
Yeah, our goal is to win every game, but our goal is to host a trophy at the end. And bigger than that, our goal is to put these guys in school. That's the number one thing, has always been the number one thing. I think with me and my partner, we pour into these guys just because we know getting to college and leaving college, debt free and having a legacy of playing, it propels you into great things in life. And so that's our number one goal, is to get everyone scholarships. Winning is a byproduct of that because we coach hard and we love hard as well. So, but I would say the goal is to win the Pro 16 league again and to go back to back Actually, just to win every year, we play in the circuit. So
I like it for sure. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And 17U, they're the group that's going for the repeat. And you guys got some really intriguing prospects. Talk about guys like Mayan or Miles Mayfield, TJ Drain. Obviously, Tate Darner's got a super smooth game. Talk about those guys a little bit.
Yeah, I think Miles is a do everything forward. He's about 6'7", 6'8", long, bouncy, athletic. The shot is continuing to develop. TJ is a 6'8", just throwback kind of guy. He's gonna make a 15-footer. He can make a three, but he's gonna set heartstrings and he's gonna rebound that ball and help us protect the rim. And Tate is a 6'3" guard that literally shooting from anywhere. In the state of Florida, his rep is that he's a big time shooter, and he's always been that, but has a lot more to his game. He's just silky smooth guy that can go get a bucket when we need it.
I love it. When it comes to 16U, Coach, can you share a little bit more about like guys like DJ Sandy or Maddox Palmer? Just a little bit of their games for those who are uninitiated.
Yeah, I would say DJ Sandy is our engine. This would be year one in our program. He's a kid that we've always admired and we've recruited for a while, and we were ecstatic when he told us, he would join One Family, and so he's the captain to our boat, and he just makes everything go just tough as nails, always in the lane, lives in the lane, which is what we look for, but is going to pick you up 94 feet, is going to control the game will be played at his pace. Whatever pace he wants the game played at, no matter what the other team's doing, is going to be played at his pace. And Maddox Palmer and Trace are just two big-time prospects. Maddox is 6'7". He can score from all three levels. He's going to defend. He's going to help us rebound. He's going to help us protect the rim. And Trace is a 6'8", catch and shoot guy that is just a high-level shooter. So we're excited about all three of our teams that are going to compete on the Pro 16.
Sure. Give a little shout out to 7'2" big Sharif Malago. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year.
I think so. The history of One Family, man, we've had pros come through our program, and we're going to continue to have that. And Sharif is a guy that can be as good as he want to be. We're excited about his development over the next 3 years. Just 7'2", can handle, can shoot, soft touch, great hands. He actually banged his knee up this past weekend while we were getting ready to gear up. So he won't make his debut till later on in this spring and summer. But a guy in the future that kind of like Asa. Asa was a top 10 5-star guy. Sharif has that written all over him.
That's really cool. We definitely look forward to seeing him for sure in the future here. Yeah. So, Coach, you've heard this question like 3 times now, so I'm gonna cut to the chase. What's he go-to move? What's he go-to move? What's he like doing? Like, let's get the scouting report on you.
Go-to move for me, as I said in chat, Evan Sterk can't guard me. So, go-to move for me is I got a lot. I got a bag.
Well, you got a bag. Okay. Got a suitcase.
It's just whatever the defense is giving me, I'm gonna take. So. It changes up. They ain't really no go-to.
Listen, I like that answer. That works for me. For sure.
So you guys can catch Coach Harden. He'll be with One Family this weekend in Atlanta. He'll be putting on a show. He's got a tough matchup against Team Scoot this weekend, so that'll be a fun one to watch. But Coach Harden, thank you for coming on.
Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. Ooh, marathon show today.
We got one more.
We got one more. We saved one of the best for last here. Bring him in, Shanku. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. So we got our final guest. We got the program director for Gorilla Basketball, which is a new program on our circuit. So we're going to have Coach Tick Snow on. Thank you for coming on, Coach.
How y'all doing? How y'all feel?
Good. How about you?
Doing good, Coach.
I'm doing great. Just got out of practice. Excited to be here.
Appreciate taking the time.
So you guys are situated out of Maine, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Lewiston, Maine.
Talk to us a little bit about your journey, how you got here. What was your experience like getting here?
Well, I'm a 5'5" point guard. I was blessed to go D1. So I know the grind. I played all over the East Coast. I played 2 years in the NBA G League. I played for the Maine Celtics in 2011, 2012. Ironic story because when I was up here in Portland, Maine, when I was playing, what brought me back here from Maine, I'm from the DMV area, is that I married one of the dancers 2 years ago. So that's what brought me back to Maine. So I've connected with Maine and the G League team up here, and we just trying to build something special.
I like that for sure. Speaking of that, you've kind of talked, Coach, just in this last minute about kind of knowing the grind and kind of being all over and kind of working your way up. So can you share a little bit about how you take those personal values, that experience, into the culture you're trying to build with your program here?
Yeah, it's just about being competitive. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, college coaches get fired all the time, and they looking for players who's going to save their job. I mean, I tell my players all the time. I mean, to play on a high level, you paying somebody's mortgage. So nobody have time for games. Be very competitive. We're a 365 program, meaning we work, we train, we play basketball all year round. Everybody wants to go D1. That's our standards. But above all, obviously, you want to get a degree. You want to have a good, strong family structure background when it's all said and done. So what we try to build up here is just be very competitive, be very optimistic, be a big time dreamer. Um, 350 schools. Um, you only need one school to like you. Only need one coach. Only need one GM. You know, so that's our mindset.
I like that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That's a great mindset to have. And you talked about, kind of like saving a coach in college, and you've got a few guys who can possibly do that on your squad. Talk about on the 17U squad, Mayan Iwell, who is a senior, but he'll be playing with you for the spring.
Yeah, Mayan's a dog. About 6'7". He can guard 1 through 5. His skills is phenomenal, like everyone else. But I try to teach the kids like everybody can dribble, shoot, and dunk. You're not going to make it to the NBA or the G League or overseas for doing those things. 99% of basketball, of the game of basketball, you do not have the basketball in your hands. So you need to perfect, mastering that part of the game off the ball, creating a 2-second advantage, playing good defense, being a good team player. Because there's so much more to it than to be great and to play on a high level. So Mayan got that whole package. He has to understand it. His talent is there, but he's also going to be able to bring that that tough mindset of doing everything off the ball as well. So I say he's definitely high major D1 prospect.
Wow, that's really really cool for sure.
Yeah, my 17 solid. My point guard AD.
About to ask about that. Yeah.
He's a dog. He's from Lewiston. I know y'all familiar with what happened this year with the mass shooting. So we have players who experienced and was in the middle of that Lewiston mass shooting. He's one of those guys. He represents the culture of who we are. He's just a tough kid. He works. He works at Burger King and he comes to practice afterwards.
Wow.
So we got guys who, Mainers are tough blue collar workers. That's just the culture. And so these players, they hungry. They after school they go to work, then they come to practice. You can't ask for anything else.
Absolutely, for sure.
Absolutely. And you guys only have two groups, your 17U and your 15U, but your 15U has a chance to be really special too, with guys like Israel Muzella, who's in the class of 29, but he'll be playing with the 15s up 2 levels, as well as Coito Castigo. Talk about those guys and how you see them long term.
Yeah, we our 15U strong. We try to build our 15U. We get the best middle schools and the best ninth graders just to bump, because that's just how you gotta make it. Everybody in the NBA plays up, so that's just the journey you gotta take. The first person you mentioned, Israel, he's 29, just turned 13. He's already dunking on folks. He's catching bodies already. He got a motor. Everybody know what Maine is about. Cooper Flagg, he's that guy who came out of Maine. Obviously, he's a number one prospect going to Duke. Israel might be that next guy. I see Israel going to the league. If he stay locked in and focused, if he continue to learn how to do the little things, set good screen, play defense, play hard all the time, he's that gifted. He could definitely make it. KC is my guy. He practice every day. He packs a lunch. He bring a lunch to practice. We was talking about that earlier. He's just a hard-nosed worker, so he gonna figure it out. I mean, if you practice every day, there is no limitation. Grayson, Bernard, he's one of those guys who does everything right. He's just efficient. He will play a whole game. He's quiet. Look at the stat sheet, you see 25 and 10. So that's just the type of person. Another major prospect, which I spoke with you earlier, is Kai Taylor. Kai Taylor comes from a coaching background. His dad, Will Taylor, coaches at Hudson, up in Bangor. Very high IQ, about 6'4" point guard. So we got a lot to offer. But above all, it's just about putting these kids in the right position. That's why we joined the circuit. What y'all doing is speaks values, and we appreciate being a part of the circuit. And we just got to grind every day and make this happen.
Absolutely. No, we look forward to seeing you and the team in action for sure. And Coach, I mean, wrapping up, first off, thank you for your time and, making a little bit of time out of your day for this conversation this evening, rather. But favorite question, Coach, are you the type of guy when you play, do you like to get to the lane? Are you bombing from deep? Kind of, what's your play style?
That's funny. I'm none of the above. I'm a mid-range type of player.
Oh, okay.
Old school.
Okay.
Mid-range is not dead, right?
And mid-range is where it's at. I mean, nowadays everybody want to get to the couple, shoot a three. So the mid-range is wide open. That's how I made a living playing basketball. It's that mid-range stop and pop. I can still get to the cup and I can still hit a three, but the mid-range is wide open. So why not?
Full 3-level score over here, Coach. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For sure. Wow. Well, thank you, Coach. We definitely appreciate, you coming in again, taking the time this evening to talk with Shanku and myself. And we look forward to seeing you in action. Yeah, well, your team in action moving forward.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be safe.
Thank you, sir. Wow, that was another fun one.
It's a fun one. You guys can catch Coach Take Snow and Gorilla Basketball this weekend in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. His 17 and 15 groups will be going at it. So it'll be a fun one to watch for sure.
Must see, for sure. Whew. Wow, this has been a marathon show.
Yeah. So this weekend, we're going to touch on this real quick, but we talked about this last episode and how what separates our circuit is that our lower level, you can call it lower level, but it's really insanely good talent on our next circuit. They'll have the opportunity to match up with our Pro 16 teams, which are our sponsored Pumas teams. But I just wanted to go through a few of the matchups that I'm looking forward to seeing in Norman this weekend. Starting off with the Southern Ties 17U group. They'll be starting off against Tulsa Hawks. And then following that will be one of the games of the weekend across all locations. It'll be Southern Ties versus Team Rogue. And Team Rogue is a super interesting group. I think they'll be probably among the top. They were in the finals of the next 16U group last year. So a guy to watch out for is Ethan Sage, 6'7" wing, moves the ball super well, he handles the ball, super athletic. He's a guy who's a D1 kid, in my opinion, who's obviously on the next circuit. So there's a plethora of talent on the not next team, but there's so much talent everywhere. KC Spurs is another team that'll be going down against Southern Ties, as well as Urban Dallas Fort Worth Elite, who is a new team on our circuit. And then their 16U team for Southern Ties will be playing RNJ Elite, D1 New Mexico, D5 Global, Urban Dallas Fort Worth Elite. And then the 15U is another group that's super exciting. They'll be facing off against D1 New Mexico, GSA Heat, KSK Club, and RSE. And a lot of these teams are super new to our circuit, so it'll be fun to learn more about these teams and what they have to offer. But AO Flight will also be attendance in Norman. So we had Aiden Chronister, obviously, who was on earlier, and his group will be facing off against Oklahoma Chaos first on Friday, and that'll be a really fun matchup because my guy, Coach D'Angelo Anderson, he's the coach of that group, and they've got some dudes. Brandon Butler's undersized guard. Eli Garcia is another one who can really surprise people. Mark Jackson, he's like a 2-guard off-ball guard, but I think they're going to surprise a lot of people on the next circuit. They've got NTX Raptors as well as D1 New Mexico and Off 2U. But also AAO Flight's 16U program will be facing off against the tough Oklahoma Wolfpack squad, along with Kingdom Performance, the Raptors, and Bree Ballers. And the 15U squad will be playing against the tough KC Spurs squad, Urban DFW, GSA Elite, and RNJ Elite.
Oof.
So, man, it's a full slate. Obviously, there's a lot more to unpack next week once we actually watch the ball. But, Corban, you want to talk a little bit about what to expect in Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta's about to be popping too. Got first off a couple of different matchups between Pro 16 teams, which again, like you brought up, Shanku, is really, really cool. Kind of a rare opportunity really to have these teams kind of match up and get that exposure and the opportunity. So definitely something to really celebrate and really kind of lock in on. But I know between One Family, their Pro 16, both 15, 16, 17U will be out there. One match I'm looking forward to specifically is One Family Pro 16 against Team Scoot, which again, that's a matchup to watch. Both for Pro 16, that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of talent on both ends there. I know you have One Family Pro 16, 17U against BTI Pressure Elite. BTI Pressure Elite, I've been doing some research on them. Like they look real scary in transition, man. Like they get up and down. Dudes. For real. So I'm definitely excited to see kind of how that matches up. Not even styles make fight, just we'll see them get out on the court. So excited about that. You have Team Next Generation out there. You have Norcross Heat playing Team Scoot Pro 16 against BTI Pressure Elite. In the 17U was also one I think will be a really, really fun watch. But yeah, between One Family and Team Scoot, a lot of tantalizing matchups all through that weekend that I'm excited to lock in on. I mean, I'm not actually going to be out there, unfortunately, but I'll be locking in from afar. I don't even care. It's going to be fun.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Shout out to Norcross Heat. They got some love in the comments by Trey. So maybe another team to watch for sure.
Clarksville crossover, some fun teams over here. So I'm looking forward to really, like you said, next week we'll have watched a lot of these games and kind of can come back with some more insight and what we learned and takeaways and all the fun stuff the show is really going to be about. The meat of the show, the meat of the season is really starting right up here this weekend. So it's fastly approaching. I can't wait, y'all. But listen, we are wrapping up this show. It has been a great one. I want to thank every person who came on as a guest. For Shanku and myself, we are very appreciative of that. For everyone who tuned in, whether you're in the chats, in the comments, we appreciate the love. Keep it coming. We'll be coming on live every week. So definitely want to thank y'all for that. Shanku, real quick, what are you most looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, man. I mean, basketball starting. I'm looking forward to be back at the gym, watching some good basketball. Obviously, dudes competing. There's obviously a lot on the line going forward, looking forward a few months towards the Pro 16 and the next finals. So I'm looking forward to that, as well as just competition. I mean, a lot of high level talent gonna be in action this weekend.
Absolutely. And listen, y'all, just a little preview for next week. We're gonna review this upcoming weekend, preview some of the week following when I'll actually be out in the gym. I'm excited about that. Probably some player interviews, maybe some coaches. You know how we do. So definitely make sure to lock it in here on the Next Pro Show next week live, y'all. But listen, it's been another fun one. Again, appreciate the time, y'all. For Shanku, for myself, we are Frosty. Y'all stay frosty, and we'll be right back at y'all next week. All right, y'all.